Let's go straight to Edis Tienshen, who joins us from Gaziantep, near Turkey's border with Syria. So, Edis, tell us more about the terms of this deal.
Well, this so-called deal so far, we still haven't confirmed it from that many places, I should say. And honestly, we've just heard from the Syrian regime military sources that they are not aware of such a deal. So we don't know if this is a premature statement or if it's still in the process of working out the deal itself. But what we have heard is from one of the officials who belong to the Nureddin al-Zinki faction on the ground. It's one of the fighting groups in Aleppo right now, and this official has said that they have indeed reached a deal with the Syrian regime, obviously through Russia, United States and Turkey. These parties have been pushing for such a deal through diplomatic efforts, and such a deal would see both civilians as well as rebels evacuated from Aleppo, and in this case the fighters would only be allowed to take their light arms with them. And the destination, according to this official, that is designated for their evacuation is the western and the northern countryside of Aleppo. In other words, there would be a safe passage. This would also mean a temporary ceasefire in that area, which could allow these people, both civilians and rebels, to go to other areas that are also under rebel control without having to pass through any of the regime-controlled areas. Now, also it's important to note that the situation on the ground is volatile, has been so for quite some time, but right now it is quite hard to say anything so definitively on the ground. We are told that if this deal is indeed approved and agreed to by both sides, it could start as early as tonight. We could see already the first batch of civilians being evacuated, but I cannot emphasize enough to still wait for more confirmation, because we've just had this 2 days ago. We've heard from some of the rebel groups that an agreement was already reached and Russia denied it, and we're hearing about a similar report again now, but I would take it all with a grain of salt.
Okay, Edis, so we're going to treat that with caution. Of course, if it is true, it would be much needed respite for the people who are trapped in eastern Aleppo, because they have come under steadily increasing bombardment over the past few days.
Indeed, I mean, this is what they desperately need. For a few days, really, they've been trapped in a small enclave that's been shrinking over the past few days. At this point, we understand it's only a few kilometers. These civilians are trapped inside with thousands of rebels, but their numbers, the numbers of civilians, are far more. They are still relying on extremely limited sources of food, water. They don't have any electricity and no more medical facility. So there is a humanitarian crisis there, and we've also heard from the humanitarian advisor for Syria earlier today, Jan Egeland, who said that what we're seeing right now in Aleppo is simply a meltdown of humanity. So this gives you an idea of how urgent it is right now to actually have such a deal in place to be able to create a safe passage for those people.